ask me any questions that you could think of. So how did you and your husband first meet? We met in college. He was so annoying. He was so annoying. And then I show up to my next class and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's in this class too. Welcome to Plan, Prep, Pray. Hey girlie, my name is Wendy and I'm a homeschooling stay-at-home mom of 4 little ones, and on this channel I talk about all things homeschooling, home management, kids empowerment, and mommy self-care. So please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, I posted a question box on Instagram to do a Q&A and so that you guys can get to know me a little bit better and ask me any questions that you could think of. This is going to be my first Q&A and I'll definitely be doing some more, so follow me on Instagram at Plan Prep Pray. That way you can get a chance to ask me some questions. So today I'm going to be answering 8 of your questions to the best of my ability. So let's go. I'm gonna look down so I can see the questions. So the first question is, do you use a Becca Academy or do your kiddos do parent-led homeschooling? I use some Abeka things still because I've used the full Abeka Academy curriculum in the past with my oldest child. The thing is about Abeka is that it's very much like private school, but at home. And so it is a lot. It's very teacher intensive and it's a lot of different like manipulatives, teaching resources. And so it'll be like, okay, whip out this phonics card, whip out that phonics card, whip out the money that's in the shape of the paper cutout and stuff like that. So it's a lot of things, and it was also a lot of workbook work, which didn't work very well for my son. And so we transitioned out of Abeka into the Good and the Beautiful, but we do have some Abeka social studies that we're still using, as well as the Abeka art that we still use too. But aside from that, we don't really use Abeka. Now, is our curriculum parent-led homeschool? I would say it's a combination of both child-led and parent-led. So for example, depending on how my child is doing really determines how I proceed and how I go about things. So for example, instead of, going on to the next lesson, if my child is struggling with something, I will stop it completely, slow it down, and do something else. So for example, my oldest was having difficulty with multiplication. And so I stopped everything that we were doing, and rather than proceeding and keep on going, we just focused on straight memorization of multiplication facts until we got that down packed. And then we proceeded to go on with the curriculum. So it's a little bit parent-led and a little bit child-led. It's like a combination. Call it eclectic. Next question. That was a long answer. Besides blogging and vlogging, do you have another job? Well, I'm a house cleaner, I'm a nanny. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't. The vlogging takes a lot of time. But before I did this, I am a nurse. I have my nursing license, and I was working as a nurse. And so I would work as a nurse about 3 days a week, and then I would homeschool 4 days a week. So I have had a job, but I currently do not have a job. Currently my job is this and my babies. What does your husband do for a living? If I tell you, I'd have to. No, I'm just kidding. He's a teacher. He teaches journalism, at his school, and yeah, so he's a teacher. He's a teacher, just like me, except with a degree. Do you have a housekeeper or a nanny? Oh, I do not, but I promise you, the first opportunity that I get, I will be hiring a babysitter. Not a nanny, but definitely a babysitter. Somebody so I could go out on a date with my husband or something like that, or maybe go on vacation or something. Probably not vacation, because I ain't gonna leave my kids with no stranger like that. Maybe the babysitter could alternate with grandma. But no, I don't have a nanny. I don't have a housekeeper. Yeah, it's just me. One day I hope to get a housekeeper, maybe to do like the deep cleaning stuff, and then I'll just keep doing the daily stuff. Maybe, somebody get up and clean the fans and the baseboards and wipe down the cabinets so that I don't have to. But for now, I'm up cleaning the fans, wiping the baseboard. Well, my husband is cleaning the fans. But, we do it as a family tag team. He's pretty much my everything. So if I'm too tired to do it, he picks up where I slack off, I guess. So I don't have a housekeeper or a nanny, but I have an awesome husband and a wonderful mom and a wonderful sister that step in and help. So I'm not all alone. So I can't pretend like I do it all, but I do have a little bit of help from them. A lot of bit of help from them. All right. How did you choose your children's names, and do they have special meaning? Well, majority of my children's names my husband picked out. I think just my oldest is the only one that I picked out their names, and every single one of their names do have special meaning. Yeah, they all have special meaning. They all are somewhat biblical, or actually they're all biblical. They're all somewhat biblical in nature. I think that a name says a lot about a person. So we take great care in choosing names when it comes to our children, and just making sure that that we pray on them, and that the names are really they really speak to us and speak to where we feel that God is leading that particular child from the womb. But who knows, So there's that. How did you and your husband first meet? So how did you and your husband first meet? We met in college, and he was so annoying. Like, we met in one class, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is so annoying. And then we ended up having another class together. Like, I left that class and I'm like, man, that guy's annoying. And then I show up to my next class and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's in this class too. So we ended up in a group together, being put together to do a group project, and I got to know him, and I'm like, wait, he's just really, really awesome. Like, he just thinks differently than everybody else. A lot of the times it can come off as annoying, but he tends to play the devil's advocate, even though that's not necessarily how he feels. But unless you know him, you wouldn't know that about him. But yeah, so that's how we met. We met in college. Man, I'm taking a really long time to answer these questions. Where do you live? We live in Florida. Yeah, we live in Florida. It's hot, but I don't know any different. And I don't think I can survive the cold, because I'm always cold. But yeah, we live in Florida. So last question. How to get motivation for school? How do you get motivation for school when the baby never sleeps and you're exhausted? Where do I start? This could be a whole video on its own, actually. I feel you, mama. I have currently a 9-month-old, and so I'm just getting past the that's not true. She's still not sleeping through the night. But as a newborn, when she was a newborn, it was even harder. And I made the unrealistic expectations of myself and thought that, after 4 weeks, I'd be good and I could do all the things. And when I tried to go back to start things, I realized that it wasn't possible, and I have to be gracious with myself and allow myself time to understand that that's the season of life that I'm in. And I'm not sleeping, and so it's not going to be great. So that would be my first tip to you, is to be gracious with yourself. Understand the season that you're in. Understand that you are doing the greatest work taking care of a baby, and that it's not always going to be like this. But for now, we're going to focus on reading, writing, and math. And that's it. And that's all you need. And that is plenty. That would be my number one recommendation, is just to focus on those 3 things. Focus on reading to your child, focus on language arts, focus on math, and focus on handwriting. You don't need all the extra pizzazz. They'll still learn. They'll still be fine. No one's gonna be missing on anything. And do what you can when you can do it. Don't try to force yourself when you're feeling the most exhausted in the day to do school. If you're tired, give yourself a break. Give yourself the opportunity to sleep. Now, don't scroll instead of sleep. Now, that's not an excuse. Sleep if you can. Utilize preschool prep, leapfrog, magic school bus, all these different types of, I know I'm not big on technology, but there's a season for everything. And utilize these different types of resources technology-wise to help you fill in the gaps that you feel as if you may be missing. But for the most part, focus on loving your little ones, focus on reading to them, focus on doing what you can when you can do it. So realize that school does not need to be done Monday through Friday. School can be done Monday through Sunday. So if you can't do it on Tuesday, that's fine. Saturday and Sunday are there for you. So don't stress yourself out. You've got this. It's only for a season. When you feel energized, you do it. And when you don't, you don't. And that's okay. All right, I'm giving you permission. That's okay. If you don't feel the motivation to do it, you just don't do it. You take care of you first. That way you can take care of your little ones. I loved this Q&A. I loved answering your questions and just, I don't know, I felt kind of like close to you guys. So I'm definitely going to be doing another one. So follow me on Instagram, where I can actually post these questions, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
So annoying. Like, we